Welcome to Creepytalks. Story 1. The First Message. The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days. It fell in thin, relentless needles over the town of Westbury, hissing against windows and flooding gutters. Everyone blamed the sudden storm on the shift of seasons, but Noah felt something different in it, something uneasy, like the sky was mourning Noah Reed. 21 sat on his bed staring at his phone. The screen lit his face in a pale bluish glow, reflecting in his tired eyes. The time read 2:14 a.m. He shouldn't have been awake. He shouldn't have been thinking about her. But tonight, just like every night since the accident, his mind circled back to Maya Bennett. 2 months had passed since her funeral. 2 months since the news spread. Shocking, sudden, impossible. She had gone missing during a late-night walk in the woods behind her house. By morning, people found her body near a creek, broken, cold, as though something had torn her apart. They called it a wild animal attack. Noah never believed it. Maya wasn't just anyone. She was the girl who laughed in libraries, who painted on her sneakers, who dared him to climb the tallest roof in town when they were kids. They grew up together, made promises together, promises of always. But he wasn't with her that night. He'd ignored her message at 11:42 p.m. Hey, can we talk? He read it. He hesitated. He moved on. The next morning she was gone. Guilt lived inside him like rust. So when his phone vibrated at 2:16 a.m., he didn't expect to see her name, Maya Bennett. Noah, are you awake? His stomach dropped. His lungs froze. His bones felt filled with ice. He blinked once, twice. He read it again. Noah, are you awake? That same tone, that same casual ellipsis she always used. His first thought. Someone was playing a sick joke. He sat up straighter, his heart thudding in his chest. His fingers trembled as he typed. Who is this? The message sent. 3 dots appeared. Typing, typing. Then it stopped. Noah swallowed hard. The rain pounded the window harder, like impatient fingers drumming. A new message arrived. It's me. I need your help. Noah's skin prickled. He couldn't breathe. He checked the contact information. Same number as before. No changes, no duplicates. He had deleted her number after the funeral because it hurt too much to see it, but there it was, alive. He texted back. Maya died. This isn't funny. The reply came instantly. I know I died. Noah nearly dropped the phone. If you know that, then who are you? I told you. It's me. I can't rest. His hands began to sweat. He wanted to call the police, call someone, anyone. But what would he say? Hi, I'm receiving messages from a dead girl? Noah's eyes burned. What do you want? For a moment there was nothing, just the hum of the storm and his panicked breathing. Then, you didn't answer me that night. You have to now. Noah stared at the screen, frozen. Then came another message. Longer, rushed. I'm still here alone. I can't see the sun. I don't know where I am. Everything is cold. Please, Noah, help me. His chest tightened. This felt too real, too desperate. He wiped his face, forcing himself to think rationally. If someone hacked her number, why now? After 2 months? Before he could respond, his phone buzzed again. Meet me, where we used to go, the tree with our names. His blood ran cold. There was only one place she could mean, the old oak past the woods where they carved N+M, always. But that was close to where she died. He typed, it's 2 a.m. No. The reply was instant. If you don't come, I'll never leave you alone. Something shifted in the room. The temperature dropped. The shadows looked darker. And then his phone rang. Her name flashed across the screen. Noah's entire body froze. He let it ring once, twice. 3 times. He forced himself to answer, "Hello?" At first only static, then soft breathing. "Noah?" He felt every hair on his body rise. It was her voice, faint, echoing, like it traveled from far underground. "Maya," he whispered, "you didn't answer me." The voice trembled, thick with tears. Noah's chest cracked open. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I should have answered that night. I'm sorry." "It hurts." Her voice shuddered. "Maya, what happened to you? Who?" Static swallowed the line, a low whisper, unintelligible, hissed through. Then the voice returned, sharp, urgent. "He's coming." "Who's coming?" Noah demanded. But the call ended. The screen went black. Noah sat still for a full minute, heart hammering, ears ringing. The storm raged outside, thunder rolling in the distance. He stared at his reflection in the dark window. Was he losing his mind? His phone buzzed. "Hurry!" Noah stood up, breathing hard. He grabbed his coat from the chair, tugged on his sneakers, and stepped toward the door. Where was he going? Why was he listening? Because despite everything, fear, confusion, disbelief, there was one truth stronger than all. He wasn't ready to let her go. Not then. Not now. He stepped into the hallway, the house dark and silent. His parents were asleep. He didn't bother leaving a note. He moved through the living room, unlocked the front door, and slipped outside. The rain soaked him instantly. The night air felt heavy, suffocating. He pulled his hood up and ran down the street, his shoes slapping against the wet pavement. He knew exactly where to go. Westbury Woods stretched behind the neighborhood like a sleeping beast. Tall, ancient trees filled with secrets. The same woods Maya used to love exploring. The same woods she never left. As Noah reached the trailhead, his phone buzzed again. "I'm close." His heartbeat quickened. He stepped into the trees. The darkness swallowed him. The forest floor was slick with mud, the air thick with pine and rot. Every branch creaked, every shadow twitched. The rain barely reached the ground beneath the dense canopy, but the sound of water dripping was constant. Like whispers, Noah kept his flashlight on, low, scanning the path. The beam flickered, weak and unreliable. His breath came out in sharp white clouds. Halfway down the trail, his phone vibrated once more. "Do you remember what we hid under the tree?" His hands shook. Years ago, when they were 16, they buried a little metal box under the oak, filled it with trinkets, letters, a Polaroid of them making stupid faces. He never dug it up. He typed, "Yes." "Why?" A moment passed. "Find it. Bring it to me." "To where?" "You'll know." Noah swallowed. What choice did he have now? The path narrowed, twisting through thicker trees. The storm above barely penetrated here. The silence was suffocating. His flashlight flickered again. Then up ahead, a dark shape rose through the trees. The oak, massive, ancient, its branches curled like arms reaching across the sky. Noah's throat tightened. He approached slowly, scanning the ground. The carved letters were still there. N plus M, always. The sight punched a hole in his chest. He knelt, pushing wet leaves aside. The soil was soft, easy to dig with his hands. Mud seeped under his nails, cold and thick. He dug faster, heart pounding. His fingers struck metal. He pulled the small box free. It was rusted, covered in dirt. He wiped the lid with his sleeve. Then footsteps, crunching leaves, slow, heavy somewhere behind him. Noah froze. "Maya?" he whispered. No response. The footsteps grew closer. He stood up, clutching the box. His breath quickened. He shined his dying flashlight toward the sound. Nothing. Just darkness. Then, his phone buzzed. "Run." A chill ripped down Noah's spine. He turned. A tall shadow moved between the trees. Wrong. Too tall. Limbs too long. joints bending sideways. Noah's breath caught. He bolted. The forest exploded around him, branches whipping, mud splashing, his heartbeat thundering in his ears. He could hear it behind him. Fast, uneven, inhuman. He didn't look back. His phone buzzed again, but he didn't stop to read it. He ran until the trees thinned, until he saw the faint glow of the road. Then, silence. No footsteps, no shadow, just rain. Gasping, Noah stumbled into the open and collapsed to his knees. He checked the box still in his hands, solid, cold. His phone vibrated. Thank you. Noah looked up, eyes wide. Another message followed. You're not safe. Then, part of me never left those woods. Noah stared at the screen, drenched, trembling. His phone buzzed one last time, and part of him didn't either. A chill sank deep into his bones. The night had only just begun. Story 2. The box, Noah didn't go home. He couldn't. After the thing in the woods, the twisted shadow that moved like a broken puppet, he felt eyes everywhere. Even now, standing beneath the street lamp at the edge of the forest, he couldn't shake the feeling something had followed him. The trees towered behind him like a wall of black teeth. The rain had slowed to a whisper, dripping from his hood and soaking his clothes. His lungs burned. His entire body trembled. He clutched the small rusted box so tightly his knuckles turned white. The phone buzzed again. Don't go home. Noah stared down at the message. His heart flipped. Why not? He knows where you live. Noah looked back at the forest. A cold wind pressed against him, as though pushing him away from the trees. Who is he? Maya, what is happening? 3 dots appeared. Typing, then vanished, then returned. Typing? I don't know. I never saw his face. Noah's jaw clenched. He needed answers. Anything to make sense of this nightmare. Are you really Maya? A long pause. Yes, but not all of me. Noah's breath hitched. What does that mean? Part of me is still stuck. The night I died, I couldn't cross over. Something held me here. Thunder rolled far in the distance. Low, angry. What's in the box? Why do you need it? This time there was no immediate reply. The quiet felt like someone holding their breath. Then, open it somewhere safe, not outside. Noah looked around. The streets were empty. The closest building was the old bus station 2 blocks away, closed at night, but with an overhang where people sometimes waited during storms. It wasn't much, but it was better than standing exposed. He swallowed and started walking, sneakers squelching against the wet pavement. The town was asleep, houses dark, windows shuttered against the storm. The bus station sat on a corner, squat and silent. An empty bench waited beneath the metal awning. Noah ducked under it, grateful for even a little shelter. He set the box on his lap. His chest tightened. He remembered the day they buried it. 16, sunburnt, laughing, swearing they'd dig it back up someday, and remember how stupid and happy they were. He wished he could go back to that day, before everything broke. The rust had eaten through parts of the lid, but the latch still clicked. He opened it slowly. Inside lay a faded Polaroid of them at the summer carnival, grinning with cotton candy, a silver bracelet with a tiny star charm, a folded note, and something he didn't recognize. A ring, dark metal, simple but strange, etched with lines that twisted like vines. Cold, too cold, even for metal. Noah touched it. A shock tingled up his fingers like static. He pulled his hand back quickly. His phone buzzed. Is it there? The ring! Noah's throat tightened. Yes. What is it? He gave it to me. The night I died, Noah's skin crawled. Who gave it to you? I told you. I never saw his face. Did you see anything? Hear anything? Typing? Only his voice and his hands. Noah shut his eyes, trying not to imagine. Why did he give you this ring? Because I wasn't supposed to leave the woods. Noah stared at the metal circle, his pulse pounding. What does that mean? Did he threaten you? Did you know him? The reply was slower this time. No, but he knew me. Noah's breath came uneven. What do you need me to do with it? Wear it. Noah's hand froze above the box. Why? So I can be closer, so we can speak longer. A cold knot twisted in his gut. This felt wrong. Maya, what if it's dangerous? I won't let it hurt you. Did it hurt you? A long pause. Yes. Noah's stomach dropped. Then why should I wear it? Because without it, he'll find you. He can smell the box. He knows it's open. Noah looked around the empty bus station. The street beyond was quiet, still, but suddenly every shadow felt alive. Put it on, Noah. Please. His fingers hovered over the ring. His instinct screamed, no. Every horror story, every urban legend, every warning in his bones shouted, do not touch it. But then he thought of her voice, the fear in it, the pain. What if she really needed him? He picked up the ring. The metal was icy, sending a shiver up his arm. The carved lines looked like roots, twisting and curling in a pattern that almost seemed to move if he stared too long. He slid it onto his finger. The cold sank into his skin. Instantly, his ears filled with whispers, distant, layered, unintelligible. He clutched his head, gasping. Then, Maya, her voice not from his phone, from beside him. He whipped his head around. Nothing there. But he felt her, like someone standing inches away, breathing soft and cold. Noah. The voice trembled. Thank you. He stared into the empty air, heart racing. Maya, where are you? I'm between. Her voice flickered like a candle in wind. The sound made the air colder. What happened to you in those woods? He whispered. But before she could answer, a sudden crash echoed behind the bus station. Noah jumped, spinning toward the sound. Something had fallen, or someone. The darkness beyond the overhang was thick, but he saw movement. Slow, dragging, wet footsteps approached over concrete. Noah backed away, clutching the box. Maya? He whispered, voice hoarse. Is it him? Silence. Then, run. Her voice was faint. Terrified, Noah grabbed his phone in the box and sprinted away from the station. He didn't look back. He didn't want to see who or what might be emerging from the shadows. He ran across the street, slipping on wet pavement. The storm picked up again, wind howling. But behind him, footsteps echoed, long strides, inhumanly long. He forced his legs to move faster. He ducked into an alley, pressing himself behind a dumpster, chest heaving. Rain dripped from the edge of the roof, cold and relentless. The footsteps reached the alley mouth, stopped. Noah held his breath. A tall silhouette stood at the entrance. Too tall, limbs wrong, neck bent at an impossible angle. The head turned slowly, searching. Something creaked, bone or wood, impossibly loud in the rain. Noah slapped a hand over his mouth, praying he wouldn't make a sound. The shadow leaned forward, jerky, unnatural. Then, his phone buzzed. The vibration echoed in the silent alley like a scream. The figure snapped toward him. Noah bolted, tearing deeper into the alley. The creature lunged after him, its movements clicking and cracking like twisted branches. Noah, this way, Maya's voice cried. He didn't know where she meant. Her voice came from everywhere, from nowhere. He burst out into the next street. Headlights swept toward him. A car screeched as the driver slammed the brakes. Noah leapt aside and tumbled into a puddle. The creature reached the street's edge, then stopped, recoiling from the light. Its body jerked backward, melting into the shadows. The car door opened. A familiar voice shouted, "Noah!" He blinked through the rain. It was Elena Carter, Maya's best friend. Her hood was soaked, her mascara smeared, but her eyes were wide with shock. "What the hell are you doing out here?" she yelled. Noah could barely speak. "Elena." He looked back into the alley. Empty. Nothing followed. He climbed shakily to his feet. "We need to go," he said. "Now." Without asking why, Elena nodded and helped him into the car. She slammed the door, locked it, and peeled away down the deserted street. Only when they were blocks away did she speak again. "Noah, what were you running from?" He stared out the window, soaked and shivering, the ring heavy on his finger. He swallowed. "A girl who died 2 months ago," he whispered. Elena's hands tightened on the wheel. "Maya?" Noah turned to her slowly. "You've been getting messages too, haven't you?" She didn't answer. She didn't have to. The fear in her eyes told him everything. Noah leaned forward, voice trembling. "What did she tell you?" Elena's lips parted. "She said," her voice cracked, "she said you're next." Noah's blood ran cold. His phone buzzed again. A message from Maya. "He's getting stronger." Another followed. "And now that you've opened the box, he can find anyone who knew me." Noah felt the world tilt. Elena whispered, "What does she mean?" Noah didn't know how to answer. Then another message came. Short. Final. "No one is safe." The screen dimmed. The engine hummed. Rain lashed the windshield. Noah stared at the ring on his finger, feeling it pulse like a heartbeat. Somewhere in the distance, something screamed. Story 3, The Unseen Path. Elena drove fast, tires hissing over the wet pavement, wipers slashing across the windshield. Once or twice her hands trembled on the steering wheel, but she didn't stop, not until they were far from the woods, far from the alley, far from the thing that chased them. Only when they pulled into an empty gas station did she finally speak. "Noah, tell me everything." He stared out the window, watching rain slide down the glass in trembling streaks. His skin still crawled. His heartbeat felt uneven. He didn't know where to start, but Elena deserved the truth. So he told her about the text, the call, the oak tree, the box, the ring, the creature with broken joints. By the time he finished, Elena's face had gone pale. She hugged her arms tight around herself. "Noah, Maya messaged me 2 nights ago." His breath caught. "What did she say?" "She said she didn't have much time, that she was trapped. She told me not to go near the woods." Her voice shook. "I didn't believe it. I thought it was, I don't know, someone sick enough to fake her number." Noah nodded slowly. "That's what I thought too." Elena swallowed hard. "But I think I'm starting to believe it's her." Lightning flashed. The sky rumbled. Inside the car, the air felt too small, too charged. Elena lowered her voice. "There's more." Noah looked up. "She told me you'd open the box," Elena whispered. "And when you did, he'd wake up." A chill slid down Noah's spine. His phone buzzed again, Maya. "He's awake." Noah felt the ring pulse, slow, cold on his finger. Elena leaned close. "Who is he?" Noah stared at the message. He typed, "Maya." "Who is he?" 3 dots. Typing? Suddenly his screen flickered. Static, glitching. A new message forced itself through. "Not her." Noah's entire body went rigid. Then, "He is mine." Elena gasped. "Noah, turn it off." He tried, fumbling with the power button, but the screen wouldn't shut down. More messages poured in, rapid, violent. "You took what's mine." "She is mine. You cannot hide. I see you look up. Elena's breath hitched. No, don't look. But Noah couldn't stop himself. He looked up. There, across the lot, beneath the flickering light, stood the creature. Long, jagged limbs, spine twisted, head cocked at a sick angle, soaked in rain like a silhouette cut from night. Its empty face stared straight at them. Elena slammed the car into gear. The creature stepped forward, unnaturally fast. The tires screeched violently as the car lurched backward and raced out of the gas station, nearly fishtailing on the slick road. Elena didn't slow down. Her knuckles were bone white around the wheel. She didn't speak. She couldn't. Noah looked back. Nothing there, but he didn't feel safe. He felt watched. He checked his phone. The screen was blank now. Dead. The ring felt heavier. What is that thing? Elena whispered. Noah shook his head. I don't know, but Maya said we can't go home. Elena nodded stiffly. There's somewhere we can go, she said. My uncle, he's eccentric, but he used to be a professor folklore. Occult. He might know something. Noah blinked. You think this is supernatural? Elena let out a shaky breath. No, I know it is. They drove through endless sheets of rain, the world outside dissolving into gray. For a long time, neither spoke. When the storm thinned, they were already leaving Westbury, driving past farmland and abandoned properties, miles from anything alive. Finally, Elena turned down a gravel road. A single house sat at the end, small, wooden, its porch light the only beacon against the darkness. She parked. This is it. Noah hesitated. He didn't want to get out. He didn't want to step into the dark again. But staying in the car felt worse. They hurried to the door, rain pelting their backs. Elena knocked rapidly. For a moment, nothing. Then, the door opened. A thin man with silver hair and tired eyes peered out. His glasses sat crooked on his nose. Elena? His voice was gravelly but warm. Uncle Rowan, we need your help. I know it sounds crazy, but I've been expecting you, he said quietly. Noah's blood froze. Rowan studied him. His eyes dropped to the ring. You brought it. Noah stepped back instinctively. You know about this? Rowan nodded slowly. Come inside quickly. They entered the house. Warm, dim, smelled of old books and sage. Strange symbols hung on the walls. Circles, runes, protective charms. Rowan shut the door behind them and locked it. Deadbolt, chain, latch. Noah felt a flicker of safety. Sit, Rowan said, gesturing to a table cluttered with candles and notebooks. They sat. Rowan lit a stick of incense, muttering under his breath. The smoke curled in strange patterns. What do you know about the man in the woods? Noah asked Rowan, fixed him with a serious gaze. He is not a man. Noah felt his stomach drop. Elena swallowed. Then what is he? Rowan took a long breath. A harbinger. The word felt wrong. Heavy. They are ancient, Rowan continued. Older than language. They feed on souls, not by killing, but by binding, trapping. Maya, Noah whispered. Rowan nodded. He bound her, marked her. The ring is a vessel. Once worn, it connects you to her and to him. Noah stared at the metal on his finger. What does he want? Rowan lowered his voice. He wants what he always wants. Ownership. Noah felt sick. So he's claiming me now? Yes, Rowan said. And anyone who helps you. Elena went still. So what do we do? She asked. Rowan turned to Noah. You must decide, right now. Decide what? Whether to save Maya, his eyes darkened, or save yourselves. Noah's mouth went dry. Why can't we do both? Rowan sighed. Because to free Maya, you must return to where she died to face him, and harbingers do not surrender what they claim. Noah's heart stuttered. Elena looked horrified. No, we barely escaped. Rowan held up a hand. You escaped because he allowed it. He wanted you to bring the ring here. Noah's breath hitched. Why? Rowan leaned closer, voice low. To complete the bond. The ring on Noah's finger burned. He cried out and tried to pull it off, but it wouldn't budge. It seared into his skin, white hot. Elena grabbed his arm. Noah! Rowan slammed his hand over the ring and began chanting, voice fierce. The room shook, candles flickering violently. The burning eased. The ring cooled, but did not loosen. Noah gasped for breath. Rowan's face was pale with exhaustion. He's stronger than I thought. Noah looked up, trembling. How do we stop him? Rowan hesitated. There is only one way. Lightning flashed. The house creaked. You must find his grave. A chill stabbed Noah's spine. But he's alive, he whispered. Rowan shook his head. No, the Harbinger is not alive. He wears the bodies of the dead like clothes. Noah felt bile rise. If we find his grave, Rowan continued, we can sever the bond, free Maya, and stop him from taking you. Elena swallowed. Where is his grave? Rowan's expression darkened. In the woods where she died. Noah stared at him. Of course it was there. Thunder shook the house. Noah clenched his shaking hands. Rowan leaned in. If you return, there is a chance Maya can cross over. And if we don't? Noah whispered. Rowan's voice fell to a whisper. She will remain trapped, forever, and he will consume you next. The room went dead silent. Rain battered the windows like desperate fingers. Noah shut his eyes. He saw her smile, her eyes, her laughter. He thought of the message he ignored, the last one she sent while alive. Hey, can we talk? Noah. He opened his eyes. Elena was staring at him, afraid but steady. We can still walk away, she whispered. No one would blame us. Noah breathed hard. He looked at the ring. He felt the echo of Maya's voice, faint, pleading. Help me. He stood. Rowan nodded, grim but approving. Noah spoke. We go back. Elena closed her eyes, fear tightening every muscle, but she nodded. Rowan rose and disappeared into another room. When he returned, he held 3 items. A lantern etched with symbols, a small glass vial filled with black sand, and a dagger, old silver, its blade engraved with twisted runes. Rowan set them on the table. Take these, he said. You'll need them. Noah hesitated. What are they? The lantern will reveal what is hidden, Rowan said. The sand will weaken him, and the blade, he paused, is the only thing that can end him. Noah swallowed. Rowan leaned close, eyes sharp. But remember this. The room seemed to lean in with him. You may not all return. A chill spread through the air. Before anyone could respond, Noah's phone buzzed a message. From Maya. Don't come. Another followed, rushed, terrified. He knows you're coming. Then, run. Please, run. As Noah stared, a final message appeared. He's already here. The house lights flickered. Something scraped across the roof, slow, deliberate. Elena's breathing hitched. Rowan's face drained of color. Too late, he whispered. The scraping became footsteps, heavy, dragging, moving toward the door. Noah grabbed the dagger, hands shaking. The front door shuddered. Once, twice. Then it blew open. Cold night wind tore through the house, and at the threshold, silhouetted against lightning, stood the Harbinger. Its head scraped the ceiling, joints bent backward, long fingers curled like hooks. It stepped inside. Rowan shouted a word in a language Noah didn't know, and the lantern's flame erupted into blinding light. The Harbinger screeched, a sound like metal tearing flesh. Elena grabbed Noah's arm. They ran. Rowan stood his ground, chanting, forcing the creature back. "Go!" he roared. "Find the grave!" Noah hesitated. Elena tugged harder. "Noah, we have to go!" The Harbinger struck Rowan. The professor slammed into the wall with a sickening crack. "No!" Noah cried. Rowan collapsed, unmoving. The Harbinger's empty face turned toward Noah. Elena screamed. Noah clutched the dagger. The creature lurched forward, joints snapping, arms reaching. "Noah, run!" They bolted through the back door, into the storm, into darkness, into the unknown, and behind them, the Harbinger shrieked, hungry. Story 4. The Woods Remember. The rain swallowed everything. Noah and Elena tore through the darkness, soaked to the bone, splashing through mud and leaves as lightning forked above the tree line. The storm seemed to scream with them. Thunder rolled like something chasing overhead. "Noah, keep moving!" Elena yelled, voice raw. He didn't look back. He couldn't, because he could hear it. The Harbinger behind them, not running, not rushing, just walking, slow, steady, as if it knew time no longer mattered. Its limbs creaked with every step, bones grinding like wood under pressure. Noah clutched the dagger in his right hand, the ring burning on his left. His breath tore through his lungs, each inhale sharp and cold. "Elena, where?" he shouted. "Back toward the old trailhead," she called. "Rowan said its grave would be where it first claimed her." Noah knew, the creek, where they'd found Maya, but the woods didn't look the same anymore. The trails had twisted, paths were warped, leading nowhere. Trees leaned like watchers with hollow eyes. The forest was changing around them, bending toward the Harbinger's will. Elena stumbled over a root. Noah grabbed her arm, yanking her forward. The storm smothered their senses, sight, sound, breath. Branches whipped his face, mud swallowed his shoes, but they ran, and behind them, the Harbinger followed a rhythmic, dreadful cadence, like a heartbeat, slow, relentless. Crack. A fallen branch dropped from above, shattering inches from them. The woods were helping him, closing in. Noah's lungs felt on fire. He could barely hear Elena's breathing over the roar of the storm. "We're getting close!" Elena gasped, lightning flash. For a moment the forest lit up, white and violent, and Noah saw it. The creek, shallow water cutting through stone, marking the place where Maya's body had been found. His chest tightened. Ice laced his spine. They stopped at the creek bank. Water rushed, dark, icy, swallowing thunder. Elena held up the lantern Rowan had given them. Symbols etched into its surface began to glow, faint against the night. "What now?" she shouted over the storm. Noah scanned the area. The trees bowed inward, forming a cage of limbs and roots. The ground there felt wrong, too soft, too black, too hollow. Noah lifted the dagger. It hummed faintly, reacting to the place. "This is it," he whispered. Something pulsed beneath them, like a heartbeat in the soil. Elena knelt, hands shaking, and poured the black sand Rowan gave them across the ground. It melted into the earth, sinking as if the ground drank it. The creek went silent. The storm outside the glade muted. Even the Harbinger's steps faded. Time seemed to stop. Elena's voice trembled. "Noah, look." The dirt in front of them began to move, breathing, rising, forming a mound. A grave pushed upward from below. Noah felt the ring sear his hand, white hot, and he cried out, falling to his knees. A voice flooded his head. A girl's voice. Maya. "Noah!" He looked up. Her voice came from everywhere. Water, wind, earth. "I'm here," he whispered, eyes burning. "This is where I died," Maya said. But her voice was not bitter. It was hollow, broken. Images flashed across Noah's mind. Maya alone in the woods, a tall figure watching from the shadows. The ring, forced onto her finger, sealing her fate. Her screams swallowed by the night. Elena gripped Noah's shoulder. "We need to finish this before he comes." But he was already here. A shriek like metal tearing stone split the silence. The Harbinger stepped into the clearing. Lightning struck, white and violent, revealing its full form, tall as the pines, limbs multiplied, splitting, jointed wrong. Its face, empty, a hollow where features should be. Only darkness. The forest bent beneath its weight. Elena screamed. Noah rose, dagger shaking in his hand. The ring pulsed like a heartbeat, Maya's heartbeat. The Harbinger raised one of its long arm-like limbs, and the ground tore open. Roots whipped like snakes, grabbing at Noah's feet. He slashed them with the dagger, silver cutting through wood with a hiss. Elena held the lantern high, its glow flaring. The Harbinger recoiled slightly but did not retreat. Its many limbs stretched toward them, blocking escape, closing. "Noah," Maya whispered. "The grave." He looked at the mound of earth. "Dig," she urged. "Find his bones." Noah dropped to his knees and clawed the dirt with his hands, scrambling, fingernails tearing. The mud sucked at him. Cold and alive, Elena yelled. The Harbinger surged forward. She hurled the lantern's light at it. The flames seared its skin. The creature screamed. Wood cracking, fire hissing, Elena shrieked, stumbling back. "Noah, hurry!" He ripped through mud and filth. Something hard surfaced. Bone. A rib cage, black and half vanished. The skeleton looked ancient. Wrong. The moment air touched bone, the forest screamed. A cyclone of wind tore across them. The Harbinger writhed, twisting into impossible shapes. "Noah!" Maya's voice trembled. "Cut his tether!" Noah's hands shook as he raised the dagger. The Harbinger lunged. Elena released the black sand vial, hurling the last of it toward the creature. It burst across its limbs, burning like acid. The monster screamed, roots retracting, limbs shrinking as the sand unmade it. "Noah, do it!" she screamed. He drove the dagger into the chest of the skeleton. The earth convulsed. The dagger flared in silver flame. A shrieking howl tore from underground, shaking every tree. The Harbinger's limbs shattered, fracturing, splintering like wood under a blade. It thrashed, crashing against trees, tearing into earth, screaming in a voice that wasn't human. Elena took Noah's hand and pulled him back as the ground erupted. Roots flung soil skyward. The creek boiled, and then silence. A deep, terrible silence. The Harbinger's towering form spasmed, flickering, its limbs collapsing inward. The shadows in its face dissolved, and then it fell. Not like a body, but like rotten wood turning to ash. Before it hit the ground, it was gone. Noah collapsed, muscles weak. Elena fell beside him, sobbing in relief. But the grave still pulsed, still breathed. Noah crawled back to it, heart pounding. The dagger lay in the mud, still glowing. "Noah." Maya's voice floated, softer now, fading. "You freed me." He felt tears in his eyes. He pressed his palm to the earth. "Maya, I'm sorry." His voice broke. "I wasn't there that night. I should have answered." "I know," she whispered. "I forgave you long ago." A breeze passed over them, gentle for the first time since this nightmare began. Warm. Elena sank to her knees, choking on a sob. "Noah, look." Silver threads of light drifted upward. From the grave, from the earth. Dancing like fireflies, they spiraled, weaving, forming a faint shape. A girl. Maya. For a moment, just a moment, She stood before him, eyes soft, bright, no blood, no fear, just Maya, smiling. Noah! Her voice was clear, free. He reached toward her, but his hand passed through. Warmth brushed his fingers, like sunlight. Thank you, she whispered. His heart shattered and healed in the same breath. Maya, a tear slipped down his face. I miss you, she smiled. You'll be okay. Elena sobbed softly. Maya's gaze drifted between them. Take care of each other. The silver began to unravel, her outline thinning. No, wait, Noah whispered, but she only smiled and faded, a final whisper lingering in the air. Always. And then she was gone. The creek whispered quietly again. The storm began to lift. Noah knelt in the mud, staring at the empty space where Maya had stood. Elena rested a trembling hand on his back. It was over, or so they believed, because in the softened earth, at the edge of the grave, something glinted, a piece of metal. The ring, now blackened and cracked, lay alone in the dirt as Noah stared. It twitched. Once, like a heartbeat. Noah's blood froze. Elena, he whispered. She followed his gaze. Her expression collapsed into terror. No, she breathed. Noah reached out, against every instinct, to touch it. And the moment his fingers brushed the metal, a voice whispered, not Maya's deeper, older, hungry. Not finished. The ground beneath him pulsed, the grave cracking. Darkness seeped upward, like ink in water. Elena screamed, the earth split open. A shadowed hand clawed out, grasping, pulling. Noah stumbled back, the ground collapsing. Elena grabbed his arm, dragging him away as the grave burst open, soil flying, ancient bones trembling. A second voice echoed from the darkness, distant, layered, inhuman. Noah, don't let him. Maya, faint, frantic. Noah, run! The ground roared open. The Harbinger was not dead, not yet. Story 5, The One Who Still Answers. The earth burst open. Noah and Elena staggered backward as black soil erupted like a geyser, spraying over the creek and tearing apart tree roots. The storm above roared back to life, winds shrieking, branches bending violently like they were trying to flee. Noah, move! Elena shouted. The shadowy arm clawed upward, fingers long as daggers. The grave pulsed, black veins spreading outward like a sickness. The Harbinger was returning. Its first death had only weakened it. Noah felt the ring burn in his palm, searing through skin, branding him. He screamed, dropping it into the mud, but the ring didn't stop. It crawled toward him like a live thing, hissing, hungry. Elena grabbed his jacket and yanked him away, her voice cracking. Don't let it touch you! But Noah was staring at the grave, at the figure rising from it. The creature that had emerged before was monstrous. But this was something worse. Its body was reshaping, bones knitting, elongating, spiking through its back. Darkness coiled around it like smoke, forming a second skin. The Harbinger's new face twisted, not hollow anymore. It had a mouth, wide, shrieking silently, like every cry it had ever stolen was trapped inside. The ring leapt from the ground, onto Noah's finger. He screamed, images flooded him. Maya drowning in the dark earth, screaming, a hand clamping her throat. The Harbinger forcing the ring onto her, binding her soul, sealing its claim. Noah clutched his head, crying out, Noah! Noah! Elena shook him desperately. He gasped, breaths quick and broken. The ring burned with a sick, dark energy. Unlike before, this was not Maya's tether. It was the Harbinger's. It wanted him. The creature rose fully, towering, skeletal limbs wrapped in shadow. Its new face leaned toward them, cracking bones shifting beneath skin. A voice, scraping air like rusted metal. "You cut my chain, so I take yours." Elena dragged Noah back. The lantern was gone. Shattered, the black sand was spent. The dagger lay somewhere swallowed by mud. They had nothing. "Noah, we have to go," Elena sobbed. But the creature was faster. A black root shot from the ground, wrapping around Noah's leg. He screamed as it dragged him toward the grave. "No!" Elena grabbed his arms, bracing her feet into the mud, pulling with everything she had. The forest howled, wind pulling backward, sucking toward the grave like a vortex. "Noah, Noah!" she cried, but the darkness was stronger. Noah's fingers slipped from hers, Elena screamed, and he was pulled into the earth. He plunged into blackness. Soil closed above him. Roots lashed around his body, his lungs filled with dirt. He choked, clawing at darkness. He was being buried, alive, claimed. Suddenly, a hand grabbed his wrist. A soft glow pierced the dark silver threads, danced around him. Warm, familiar. "Maya," he gasped, her voice faint, breaking. "Noah, listen." He felt her pulling him, not physically, but through the ring, through memory, through soul. "Noah, you can end this." He shook his head violently, choking on soil. "I can't. I don't know how." "You do." Her voice was gentle, urgent. "That dagger, it doesn't destroy him, only severs. You must bind him, trap him, the way he trapped me." "How?" "Take the ring." He glanced. The ring burned violently on his finger. "And reverse the command." He didn't understand, but he trusted her. He forced his hand upward, through roots, through choking soil, lifting the ring. The darkness shrieked. The Harbinger sensed it. "No!" it growled above. "No!" Maya's voice grew shaky, weakening. "Noah, say it." "What? What do I say?" Maya whispered. "I claim what claims me." The words hit him like a shock. He repeated, her voice cracking. "I claim what claims me." The ring convulsed. Light erupted. Silver flame flooding the void, burning through the roots. The darkness screamed above ground. Elena watched as the earth glowed white-hot. The Harbinger froze, its limbs jerking violently. Trapped. Elena dug desperately at the grave with her bare hands, dirt flying, nails tearing. "Noah, come back." Below, Noah kept shouting, "I claim what claims me." The ring tightened, cutting his skin. Blood dripped. But instead of falling, it turned to silver. The Harbinger roared, a sound that shook the world. The silver flame crawled up its limbs, binding it, chains of light wrapping around its torso, neck, jaws, forcing it down, back into the grave. The creature thrashed, but could not break free. For the first time, Noah felt its fear. Maya's voice trembled, fading. "Noah, finish it." His throat was raw, but he shouted the final words. "I claim what claims me." The ring shattered. Light exploded. The grave collapsed inward, like a sinkhole swallowing the world. The Harbinger let out a final scream. Dragged underground, chains pulling, soul collapsing in on itself, until nothing remained but silence and Noah. He tumbled upward, bursting from the soil, gasping, coughing, collapsing into the creek. Elena grabbed him, sobbing hysterically. "Noah! Noah! Oh my God!" He coughed water, eyes wild, before finally meeting her gaze. "It's over." She held him like she'd never let go again. The storm eased. The woods grew still. Noah felt something warm in his palm. He opened his hand. A small silver thread lay there, glowing faintly. Maya. Her voice whispered, fading, "Goodbye." A breeze swept the creek. The thread dissolved into starlight. Noah bowed his head, tears mixing with rain. Elena hugged him, whispering, "She's free." He nodded, trembling. They limped back through the forest. Roots retreated, trees straightened. The night grew quiet. When they reached the path, dawn was breaking. But something caught Noah's eye. On his phone, a notification, a new message from Maya. Elena froze, staring. "Noah, don't open it." His hand trembled, but he clicked. The message contained only one line. "Thank you, live well." Noah's breath caught. Elena clutched his arm, her voice trembling. "She's really gone." He nodded slowly, relief and grief woven together. They walked toward the clearing where Rowan's cottage once stood, but it wasn't there. Nothing was. Only open ground, as if no one had lived there in 100 years. Elena swallowed. "Noah, was she even real?" He looked at his hand, at the faint scar the ring left. He thought of the grave, the screams, the light. "She was," he whispered. They left the forest behind. For years, Noah dreamed of the grave, of Maya smiling beneath moonlight. Of her final words, he built a life, a quiet one, a hopeful one. But sometimes, late at night, his phone buzzed. Just once. When he checked, nothing. One night, years later, Noah received a text from an unknown number, just 3 words. "Are you there?" His blood ran cold. His heart hammered. He typed slowly, "Who is this?" No response. He blocked the number. Days passed in quiet. Then, he woke one night to the vibration of his phone. One notification. No number. Just a message. "I remember you." His hand shook. He typed, "Maya?" A moment passed. Then, "Not her." Noah's chest tightened. "Who then?" The reply came instantly. "The one you claimed." The screen flickered. The lights in his room went out. A cold wind swept through the dark. In the reflection of the black screen, Noah saw movement. A tall shape standing behind him. His phone buzzed violently. One final text. "You freed me. Now I answer." The air turned silent. Too silent. Noah slowly turned. The darkness was smiling.